Hi, my friends. Welcome back to a new video. Happy Friday. I'm super happy to see you all. I hope you're all having a good day already. I have some really interesting new topics for new videos, but today I wanted to share a part of a conversation that I had with a client this week about the topic of living from a place of love versus living from a place of fear. And it made me realize how deep anxiety recovery is really related to learning how to live life in general. And I guess that's what I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about today. I'm sorry for my posture. I'm like on the couch. It's just one of those days where I feel too lazy to even walk to my desk and set up a good video. So we're just gonna chill on the couch today. I hope that's all right. And I'm gonna explain to you guys a little bit about how important the realization or the understanding of living from love versus living from fear is in your recovery. Because obviously, if you are right now struggling with symptoms of anxiety or panic or DPDR, you are living in a state of fear. And so, basically, whether or not we live from a place of love or from a place of fear is a choice. As much as it feels like it's not sometimes, it is absolutely a choice. It's a choice about what we prioritize, and it's a choice about what we are willing to sacrifice. When we live from a place of fear, basically, we are focused and prioritizing on the avoidance of bad things happening. And the sacrifice of that is that we sacrifice the focus on good things as a consequence. Because when we're living from a place of fear, basically we've told our brain it is more important for us to make sure bad things don't happen than to hope for good things to happen. And so what happens then is whatever we give our brain as an instruction, it will focus on. Our brain is helpful in that way. Our brain is here to protect us, to serve us. And so if you set that priority, that it is more important to make sure bad things don't happen or can't happen than to strive for good things to happen, your brain will say, all right, well, that's our priority, so that's what we'll focus on. So your brain will constantly be on the lookout for bad things that could possibly happen, or bad things that could possibly be part of life. And that's what the struggle of DPDR and existential anxiety is really about, is your brain is constantly looking for things that could possibly go wrong or that could potentially be wrong. And because it is more important for your brain to avoid negative things, it will not focus on the positive. It will not even see the positive because it's not the priority to look for the positive. So that's what we're stuck in with living from a place of fear. And you know what? Sometimes it's okay to live from a place of fear. If you want to truly if your priority truly is for to avoid bad things from happening more than to have happiness in your life, maybe you do. Maybe you do really want to live from fear. And then to that I say, well, that's completely up to you and that's completely your choice. But if you feel like fear is ruining your life or running your life and you don't really feel like it's worth it anymore at this point, the second option is to start living from a place of love or living from love. And when you live from love, again, there is priority and there is sacrifice. When you live from a place of love, you prioritize the search for good over the avoidance of bad. That doesn't mean that you don't find it sucky sometimes when bad things happen, but it simply means that the goal you have of each day is no longer to avoid negative things from happening, but to seek out the good, to search for the good and to create good in your day. And the sacrifice is that there's less room to prepare for worst case scenarios. So that is what you sacrifice. Is sometimes in that search, bad things might happen and you'll just have to deal with them. You won't be as prepared as when you live from a place of fear. But very often what fear actually tries to prepare us for is stuff we can't even control in the first place. So the preparing for the worst very often is actually quite pointless because 90% of worries in life we really can't control or can't really do anything about. So even though we choose to live a life in fear, it's not actually going to make us more safe very often. Sometimes it will, but very often it won't. Um, and so living from a place of love is choosing to say, you know what, maybe bad things do happen, but for me, it is worth that risk is worth it if it means that I can live my life in the strive of good, in the strive of love, in the strive of positivity. A good example of that is, so I feel like I am someone that lives from a place of love as much as I can. And so I used to be very scared of flying. And what my method would be when I was scared of flying was I would try to prepare as much as I could. I would think about all the negative things that could happen. I would try to kind of check and like I was always in my head whenever I was on the airplane, and I would recognize my brain trying to get me to leave because it would always say, this time the plane is going to crash. You have to get out right now. And then even though I didn't do it, I always had that feeling of, oh, I should listen to it. What if it's my intuition? Now that I'm consciously living from a place of love, my mindset is truly, I am striving to travel. I'm striving to enrich my life. And so if the plane crashes, it was worth the sacrifice because I'm not living my life from a place of avoidance of bad things. I'm living my life from a place of striving for good things. That's why I took the risk of adopting our dog that we just randomly found on the street, and we had no idea what was going to happen. That's why I decided to start my own business and, quit, well, not quit school, but finish school and take the risk of working for myself. That's why I sat with my fears instead of run from them. That's why I embrace life the way it is and try to find the beauty in it instead of always be thinking about what could be bad about it. It doesn't mean that I am toxically positive and always telling myself that everything's positive, because I know it's not. But what it is that for me, the sacrifice of not being prepared for bad things is worth the fact that I get to live my life from a place of love and achieving and striving for good. And so I hope that you understand that this choice of whether or not you live from a place of love versus fear is not about, is fear true or is love true? Because both are part of life. There is challenge in life, there's good in life. It's the choice of, what do you prioritize? Do you prioritize making sure that negative things don't happen as much as you can? Or do you strive or prioritize for positive things to happen? And I promise you that if you choose to live your life from a place of love and say, you know what, if bad things happen along the way, I guess that's part of the journey of striving for a life filled with love, it will be worth it. So today was more of a motivational talk than it was really like DPDR video, but I thought this is such a beautiful topic to think about. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you have a beautiful day. Maybe try to really consciously think about how you could prioritize living from love over fear today. And let me know in the comments if you found a way to do that. I love you guys very much, and I will see you next week, hopefully for another video. Bye.